Hello and welcome to another episode of Wheel of Horror, the podcast where two best friends spin a wheel once a week. It chooses the horror movie and they discuss it. Today we are starting our new wheel, which is our sequels only wheel. So for the next few weeks, or many weeks, we're going to be covering only sequels to films that we've either covered before, and yeah, that's actually it. So today we're doing Child's Play 2, which was directed by John LaFia and was released in 1990. I'm your co-host, Alec.
I'm Eric.
Is that your new wheel intro?
No. Just springing into sequels, everybody. Child's Play 2 is a sequel, so let's get it going.
Springing into the sequel, yeah.
Bring into sequels, just right into sequels. 2. Love it.
Yeah, so we did the first Child's Play. Dude, we did the first Child's Play. It was like one of our first episodes back in 2020.
That's so crazy to think about, man.
I know, yeah. So that was one of the original ones, so if you want to go back and listen to that, that was when we were a lot different, so check it out. But then the other thing is we covered Curse of Chucky, which is the sixth one. I can't remember if it was, 2013. Came out in 2013, and it's the sixth film.
I wasn't on that one, though. I don't think I was. That was you and someone else.
Yeah, you were.
Was I on that one?
Yeah, it's with the girl in the wheelchair. And
oh my goodness, I forgot. Yeah, I do. Yeah, absolutely remember that one now. Oh my God.
I love that one.
We've done so many movies. What are we at, like 350?
This is like 357, yeah.
Yeah, dude, it blurs, man. It blurs.
Well, I personally love these movies. Like, I hold these in the same kind of vein as Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street and Halloween. Like, obviously it's a doll, it's not a real killer thing, but the legacy, the pop culture influence, I just like it. I like it. So, was this your first time seeing this one?
No. I have seen this one. I've
Okay.
seen this one on TV. Child's Play, I've never seen fully in its entirety until we like watched it together, but I did see this one. I'm just trying to remember exactly, but this one came out in 1990. We were about 7 months old when this came out.
Hell yeah.
I really like this one, dude. I just something about this one is like magical and has that chemistry. I do like this one.
Oh, wow. Okay, good.
Yeah, good things. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, because you didn't really like the first one. It was funny. I listened to our first one and you said you were just like, maybe I was in a bad mood.
Let me rephrase it. It's childish. I've always said Chucky is childish. You have to be in the right mood for it. I think 2020 Eric was not in the right mood for this. When I watched Child's Play 2, I was like, I'm in the mood. Let's have fun. I really was in a good mood.
Dude, it's a good sequel. It builds upon the lore of the first one. It's like Chucky's trying to like complete the thing that he couldn't do. I believe the way that they brought him back. I don't know. I've got a couple things that I don't like, but overall it's like mostly positive. I am a big fan of this franchise and this sequel specifically.
I have a couple theories about this too, but I agree. How they went directly from the first one into this one is probably the best way you could do it, right?
Really? Okay, because that's one of my big problems, dude. Like, the mom got the shaft, dude.
The mom got the shaft.
And Chris Sarandon's character's kind of like, I don't know what you're talking about. There's no doll. What are you talking about? That's like what he did. So you're kind of like, wait.
Yeah, I wonder if there's like contract issues there. But with the corporation and stuff, I thought that was really good. Well done.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, bringing Chucky back and like, because they give you some exposition in the beginning where like the CEO of the playpen or whatever the hell the company's called, he's like, all right, we got to figure out why this doll is killing people or whatever. So they're acknowledging that like this happened, I guess. But that one like Weasley guy from Ally McBeal, he's kind of just like, nah, it was probably some guy screwing around or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
They just recorded killer lines on the doll. But yeah, so they want to bury this thing. But basically what happened was, yeah, the cops from the first one, Chris Sarandon, he says that it didn't happen. And then the mom's like, no, it did happen. They're like, okay, you're crazy and you're an unfit mother. So you're going to the insane asylum and now your son is going to live in foster care.
Foster care, yeah.
That sucks.
Real world though, like what would happen?
Maybe.
Like, say this scenario happened. So what happened to Chris Sarandon's character? Did he get fired? What happened?
No, I mean, we don't really know exactly, but apparently him and his partner, they said that it didn't happen. There was no killer
Yeah,
doll.
you don't see Chris Sarandon's not in this movie. And
No.
so it's like off screen. But it's like imagine someone who's like trying to save his job. It's like I did what I could. I stopped what I could. And the mom is still like totally like there's a doll, it kills people. It's like, all right, you need to go into an insane asylum
Yeah.
because you're talking crazy. So I think Chris Sarandon's character probably was like, if I don't shut up and move forward, and at least Chucky's dead, I'm gonna end up in an insane asylum too. That's my take. What do you think?
I mean, that probably is. That probably is what happened.
But they think Chucky's dead, so the mom should be like shut her mouth and be like, I need to stop talking about this doll because he's gone and people are gonna actually think I'm crazy. That's my take. And I do think this is one of the best ways to do the sequel.
Yeah, but like, I wish the mom, I don't know. I kind of wish the mom just, you're right. I wish they all said, hey, you know what? Let's just put this behind us. Because what's the mom's goal? What is she trying to do? Be like, we're going to sue the company. Like, what was she trying to do? Yeah, just don't talk about it.
It's tough because the first one is Andy trying to prove to his mom that the doll's the killer. So if you have this adult telling everyone, no, it's actually the doll and stuff, which kind of turns into the Kyle character,
Yeah.
it kind of ruins the whole Andy scenario of this doll killing people and Andy being like, no, it was the doll that did this. And it's like, Andy. So that's the point of the movie. So taking out the mom who does now believe Andy is critical to the plot, I think.
Well, yeah, and I mean, and Andy now living in a foster home with the mom. Did you recognize the actress who plays the mom?
I knew she was familiar. I can't.
It's the nurse from American Werewolf in London.
Okay, didn't know that, but I recognize the teacher who gets the air pump in her. That's from
Yeah.
Donnie Darko and a few other
Oh,
movies.
dude, she's in everything.
Everything. Yes. But no, like,
She's like the mean old lady, like in
yeah,
everything.
yeah. So did recognize some people. I knew she was familiar. Couldn't nail that one though.
Yeah, so the mom and dad, they adopt a couple kids. They're like a foster care home, I guess, or whatever. I don't know. They don't seem very happy, though, so I don't even know why they want kids. But anyways, so they adopt Andy, and they bring him back to the house, and they have another daughter there, Kyle, who's like about to, I guess, be 18, so she'll be on her own. And, yeah, I mean, Andy, he seems like hardened in this one. He's like Sarah Connor in this one, in Terminator 2. Like, he's seen some shit. He lost his mom. He almost got killed. Like, he doesn't seem like the happy kid from the first one, really, you know?
And he seems like numb, like
Yeah.
more numb. Even in the first one, like yeah, the acting of a kid is hard, and like, it was the doll. But this one, he was just numb, right?
Yeah, he's like, no matter what, Chucky's always gonna come after me. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I
Jesus
know.
Christ.
Yeah, he's numb. He's like, I don't have a choice now. Like we killed
Yeah.
him. My mom's gone. Like Chris Sarandon. Like yeah, no one believes me still.
He learned a lesson, like a huge lesson at a very young age that like even if you tell the truth and you do the right thing, like that you still can get fucked.
But he does still tell the truth. There are moments in this film where he kind of not hides it, but tries to phrase it better and stuff. But yeah, he's numb. He's definitely like dead inside already at the age of like what is he 10? Like it's like so sad.
Dude, yeah. I mean, so basically, he was living with. Did you recognize the woman who ran the foster care, Grace Poole? Do you recognize her, the actress?
No,
It's from Twin Peaks. It's the mom from Twin Peaks who cries and is like, "Oh my god!" All right,
still doesn't click. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just being honest.
whatever,
Like
man.
Andy. Like I want to be like Andy. I want to be honest.
Yeah. So Andy's at the foster home now. He's living with his like I don't know foster sister, and of course the first thing that falls out of the his bedroom is a Chucky doll.
You would think being in a foster home and this kid is like imagine traumatized by clowns. Let's just say that. And there's clown wallpaper all over the room. What do you do?
Yeah, you get rid of it.
So the mom knows about the Chucky doll, the good boy. What is it?
Good guy or
Good guy doll. And she's like, "Oh my god, I forgot about this." It's like, listen, like,
it's the one thing. It's like the one thing.
it's like literally you could have anything else in this room except for that. And she's like, "Oh my goodness gracious, I forgot about." And what does it say? His name is Tommy.
Tommy, yeah. And
Mm.
apparently that's a dig at Tom Holland, the director of the original one, because I guess they didn't get along, the writer and the producers, so they were like, let's name the other Chucky doll Tom. And they,
Yeah, the one that just doesn't matter and
yeah,
gets
so
buried in the backyard. Love it.
I like Tom Holland, so that sucks. But
Love the salty grapes. Yeah.
yeah, so back to Chucky though. So Chucky's got to figure out where Andy is. He's like, I don't know where he is because the way that Chucky got brought back is basically they took his head, which was the only thing that was left, and they put a new skin on it and a new body on it because they wanted to see if they could like resurrect it to see if it really is evil or not. So they do resurrect it by accident. The guy from Ally McBeal is like, oh, I'll take it home with me or whatever. So he's shoving it in the car, goes to get liquor, and then Chucky, when the guy's out of the car, he looks through his briefcase, finds out where Andy was, because they're talking about Andy and the mom earlier, so they must have like a dossier on them or whatever. And they're looking through. So Chucky finds out where he was, calls the foster home, says that he's the uncle, gets the address of the foster family, and then kills the guy from Ally McBeal and runs. So
That's called the click click boom of the plot, Alec. That's how you just get there. Just
yeah,
get to the get to the next, like, how does Chucky find out where Andy is? It's like,
yep.
just get there. Just get there. Boom.
Dude, literally, it's literally just him in the car on a cell phone with the briefcase open, with the file open, being like, I'm his Uncle Charles. It's just like, all right, sweet, we got it. But I do want to know how did he get to the house? Like, he's a doll. But anyways, so Chucky he infiltrates the house. He finds Tommy, the other Chucky doll, breaks the doll, and then buries it. So now Chucky is, pretending to be the other doll. And Andy's like, terrified of it. I don't know. The parents, they really aren't happy. I genuinely can't understand why they want to have kids around. And Kyle definitely doesn't want to be there. But I don't know. What did you think about those three characters? Because I guess they're the leads.
Kind of fillers, but I mean, like the family heirloom thing, right? So why do you have that laying around? Like, put that in the
Yeah.
bedroom.
Yeah.
So you got a bunch of kids running around, especially Kyle, who's probably going to sell it for some cigarettes. Just like put it in your bedroom. I don't know. That was my take, but they just seemed like kind of off. I don't know. Didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Obviously, the marriage isn't doing well. We'll put it that way too. Like they are fighting behind the scenes with Kyle and Andy,
Well,
and
dude, the dad, even when they got back from the orphanage with Andy, the dad's like, all right, I'm going to head back into the office. And the mom's like, well, I thought we were going to spend time with him. He's like, I got to work. And it's like the day that you adopt a kid, the guy's like, I got to get the fuck out of here.
yeah, that's bad. It's a bad
Yeah.
look.
Well, anyways, let's talk about like Chucky in this one compared to the first one. I mean, the animatronics I think are like really jacked up to 11. Like he looks pretty good in this.
Yeah, and I wanted to get fully into budget box office with the first one, this one. I'll do it very quickly. First one came out in 1988, 2 years before this one. Hour 27 minutes, 74% tomato critic score, 65% audience score. Really good. Budget was 9 to 13 million. We're going to say 13 million. The box office was 45 million. This one, 2 years later, 40% tomato critic. I don't have the time. I do believe it's about an hour and a half. I don't have the time on hand.
It was an hour 24.
So 3 minutes shorter. Whoop-de-doo. Same time. 52% audience score. The budget, again, 13 million. The box office, 35 million. So there was a dip from the first one to this one. However, successful.
I mean, yeah, if you put in 10 million and you get 35 out of it, even with budget, I mean, even with marketing and all that, you're definitely still making a profit. So, and they made the third one 10 months after this one. So they were like, let's go.
Yeah, well, they started realizing we can double our budget every time.
Yeah.
Double it at least. So one more. Let's see how it does. I'm interested to do the third one eventually and compare it all. But one take I want to have. So the first one had this: if he doesn't get out of this Chucky doll, he's gonna be stuck in the Chucky body, right?
Yeah.
So what was it? Was it like the voodoo was reset when the doll was built, or was it already done? That's my take.
Yeah, we don't really know because Chucky's under the impression that he has to possess Andy because he revealed himself to Andy, and the curse is you have to possess the person you revealed yourself to. So that's why he's going back after Andy. But later in the movie, he tries to possess Andy, and it gets successful,
Yeah.
but it doesn't work.
And he still thinks he has time, which is like, that's my take. I think that they restructured the doll, but he was stuck in the doll already. So
Yeah,
he could never get out, is my take. And you see the bloody nose like right off the bat when he gets like kicked down the basement stairs. So I don't know. I think Chucky didn't realize that he's already stuck.
That is definitely possible. Yeah, because you're right. He's bleeding right from the start. So he's already exhibiting that he's a human. So, yeah, or human qualities, I guess. So, and he does react to pain like pretty bad. Like when he ripped his hand off, he's like, fuck. Like,
No, exactly. So I think he's like his Chucky body's been rebuilt, but he's stuck in it already, and he doesn't
yeah.
know that. I wish they leaned into that a little bit. But so where do we leave off? Parents, heirloom, stuff goes off with Andy and Kyle a little bit, where they're building a somewhat of a relationship. The parents start, asking a question about Tommy, Chucky. I mean, do you want to just like skip ahead a bit?
No, no, no. We got to talk about the school, dude. The school
Oh, the
bus.
school. See, this is all the filler stuff that sucked. This is the worst part of
What?
the movie. I thought it was boring. The whole school stuff and Andy and the from the first 20 minutes was great, and then from 20 minutes to like an hour kind of was boring, and then the last 30 minutes was fantastic. That's my
All
take.
right.
And I'll talk about that more, but continue.
We'll brush through the middle then. But yeah, I will say, like, I like that Andy goes to school and Chucky's trying to, like, I don't know, ruin his life at school for some reason. But there's no reason for the scene because it's just like, why? Why did they kill the teacher? Why did Chucky want to go to the school? Was it just to get Andy in trouble? Like, what's the point? Just wait for him at home. But yeah, the scene is basically like, yeah, there's a new teacher, and Chucky hides in the closet and kills the teacher. So then Andy, but here's the thing, nothing ever gets resolved. Andy escapes through the window and he runs away, and then nothing happens. You see the conversation where the mom's like, yeah, they said he was getting detention, but they didn't say the teacher's fucking dead. So,
Just a big deal, obviously.
yeah, they kind of dropped the whole ball on that.
The BFD. That's a little BFD right there. But
Uh,
I love how like I think the teacher was bringing him down the steps or something about the homework or whatever, and she's like, "What is this?" And he's like, and Andy was just so done. He's just like, it was a doll, man. I don't
yeah,
know.
I know,
It was a
yeah.
doll. Like I thought he delivered that line so perfectly.
Yeah, he's just dead inside. He's like,
He's just like it was the doll.
yeah.
I'm done. I'm done. Like that's how he felt at that point.
He's 8. He's just like washed up.
He's already worked like 20 years in a corporate America. Like I'm just yeah, man. It was yeah. Like that's how he was. It was so sad.
All right. Well, brushing past that, then I mean, basically, it's just more like shenanigans at the house with Chucky fucking with the family and Andy getting blamed for it. But eventually, Andy does come home, and well, there's one scene that's kind of funny when Chucky ties Andy up to the bed, all four, like his 2 legs and his 2 arms, and then he's screaming or whatever, and then Kyle comes in, and they like blame
Yeah.
her.
And it's just like what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like imagine like walking into a kid in general and seeing this, like, what are you doing? And he's just like, it was the doll. It's like
No, they blame Kyle, the sister,
right,
immediately.
right, right.
Just
But like
yeah, yeah.
but it's an insane scenario in general.
Yeah, yeah.
When with Kyle walking in.
Right.
You know?
She's like, what the fuck is this? And then the parents are like, what did you do to him? He's like, I didn't do this. And
Yeah, no, that's
the
great.
best part is, though, so Andy's tied to the bed. Chucky's trying to possess him, and then Kyle comes in, so Chucky has to stop. The second Andy's hand gets free, he just punches Chucky in the face, like immediately.
I loved it. But that's why the mom has to be out of this movie, dude. You know what I mean? Because she would be defending Andy at this point.
Yeah. No, I know.
So that's the only that's where it's the formula, man.
No, I'm okay with it. I like Catherine Hicks. I like her a lot, and it's actually pretty interesting too. She was on set almost every day because her husband at the time, or is still, her husband was the guy the head creator of Chucky. Like he made the Chucky doll, so she'd just come out and hang out and watch it.
Is she in the third one?
No, she's not in anything else, dude.
Well, I gotta say this. I gotta say this right now because 1988. When did Terminator 1 come out?
84.
Okay, so Terminator 1 came out in 84. Terminator 2 came out in 92, 91.
91.
So the first one, Child's Play 1 came in 88 after Terminator, which is it's a robotic like doll. It's a cyborg, you could say. Child's Play 2, think about it. They take the arm that Miles Dyson had in Terminator and like did research on it and refixed it and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like Terminator pretty much. And then Linda Hamilton's locked up in Terminator 2. So imagine imagine Child's Play 2 did Terminator 2 before Terminator 2
It
did.
kind of did.
It could have. It really could have. Imagine Andy like tries to break his mom out of like the
The
psych
asylum.
ward.
Yeah,
They
right.
could have done that, and then you know how much would have changed.
I know.
The people would have been like, honestly, James Cameron, like you, like Chucky came up with this before you.
Chucky.
Honestly, it's very similar, dude. It's very similar.
It really is if you think about it, and then like the last scene too, man. Like even though at Terminator 2, it's not at a Terminator, it's like a smelting facility.
Foster parents were both killed.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
picking up some stuff, dude.
Dude, you're not wrong. And the last scene is at like a big facility. You know, there's a big fight at the facility. You know, so it's I don't know. You're right. You're kind of right. You're kind of right. I always think of Chucky sort of like Sonic the Hedgehog because it was like very popular
Yeah.
in the early '90s, and there was like the first one was really good, the second one was really good, and the third one was pretty good. But yeah, Chucky and Sonic have always kind of gone hand in hand for me.
Chucky and Sonic, I like
Yeah.
that. But also like the corporation, the Cyberdyne and the toy company covering up the mistakes of their past and stuff.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
all there. I mean, to
Oh
think
man.
that Child's Play is not too far off from Terminator, and if they did a few other things in two, Child's Play 2, I think people might argue that it's too similar to the Terminator 2.
People might argue. I mean, you're kind of making a good argument for it now. So
I mean, especially if the mom in Child's Play 2 is in the psych ward and like lifting weights and stuff. If that happened, if she's like really like working out on like the pipe bars and stuff, it's like okay, James Cameron, I think you got the script to Child's Play 2 and copied it. And,
yeah.
and they go to Mexico, and like Child's Play 2, they go to Mexico. It's like okay, what's going on? Like imagine like
My God.
no, but obviously just had to point out some similarities I was picking up. But continue, Alec. Where were we?
No, I mean now, so Chucky kills the dad, and then Andy gets blamed for killing the dad. So the mom's just like, "Get away from me! Like I hate you." So then, for some reason, they just take him back to the child, like orphanage, and they're like, "It's okay, Andy. Like we know you committed murder multiple times because you're getting blamed for the teacher too, dude. So you probably should be in like Michael Myers kind of ward, but at this point. But anyways, they bring him back to the foster care. Then Kyle starts getting attacked by Chucky because she's on the swing. She finds the buried other doll, and she's like, what the fuck? And then she finds Chucky is not in the trash can she threw him in, which is a nod to the Twilight Zone with the doll.
And I also love the battery scene where Andy checks the batteries and sees they're in there.
Yeah.
That's a big scene in the first one. So
Right.
I think Chucky's learned to, put batteries in. Even though they don't. I don't know. That was my take.
No, you're right. Like he's definitely, he knows now they're looking for that. But anyway, so yeah, so now all the foster parents are dead. Kyle is taken hostage by Chucky and is like, we need to go find Andy. So she's like, Jesus Christ, okay. They go to the orphanage, set off the alarm, and all the kids leave or whatever. And then Chucky kills the woman from Twin Peaks. They go to the, of course, like Chucky's playpen facility or wherever he was created. It's like right next to the orphanage. So they have the final standoff there. One thing I just really want to mention before we get to the final standoff, Chucky captures Andy and puts him in the back of a newspaper truck or whatever. Dude, why was that gate open? Why was like the back of the truck open and then they're just in it as they're driving, the truck is just open. Like that guy was flying down that street with the back of his truck open and Chucky and the little kid are somehow staying in it. I don't know. I thought that was really weird that they kept the back of the truck open.
Wish I had the answer to that. I do not.
So weird.
It was.
But then we get like a very cool last like 20 minutes of them just in this huge Chucky like facility where they make the Chucky dolls. There's hundreds of Chucky dolls stacked up everywhere. It's a maze of Chucky dolls.
This is my theory, dude. This is where the budget went. The final scene, the finale. Okay. And I wish they made the facility like whatever scene middle ground. Because it would have been cooler and spread out the budget. Because you could tell most of the budget went to that scene.
Well, it did. It went to that scene, and then also I also heard that the scene where he comes out of the closet in the school with the ruler, and he's just like, "You've been a nasty woman" or whatever. That scene took 2 days and put the entire film behind schedule and over budget.
But when she's like hitting her with the yardstick and whatnot,
when he comes out of the closet, like it's like a very drawn out scene.
I mean, compared to having like at least 1,000 Chucky boxes,
probably, yeah,
that's a budget right there.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. The budget went to this final scene and that one animatronic scene, but yeah, it's impressive, man. I mean, it's a whole functioning toy factory. And yeah, Chucky basically, it's kind of just rinse and repeat, just chasing for, 20 minutes until finally they get Chucky's hand stuck in a gate and they rip his hand off and he's all pissed off. But then he stabs a knife into his like open flesh wound, which why would you do that?
It's a terrible idea.
Yeah. So he's got a knife for a hand and he's got his other hand. They have like, I guess it's a security guard or a maintenance guy that's there, the one person working the facility. He comes down. Chucky kills him. That kill was pretty cool, man, with the eyeballs going into his head, like the Chucky doll eyes.
Loved it. And again, budget. At the end of the movie was the best part. Like the last 20 minutes were amazing.
Yeah, the doll eyes, like the machine go like right into his eyes.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
And then we get the final battle, of and Chucky realizes at this point, because he finally gets Andy alone, that he's like, I can't possess you. Like, what the fuck? And he like freaks out.
That's my take, is that he was always already stuck in the body.
No, I know, you're right. I think that does explain it pretty well, actually. It really does.
He's already too late, but they rebuilt the doll, but he's still the doll. And what did Andy like there's a conveyor belt scene, but there's also the melted plastic scene, which is so good. It's so good, like burnt, like molten lava plastic falling on Chucky.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, it's over. The classic, like, oh, we did it.
Yeah.
And then Chucky's like, coming out like the swamp, like muck from Pokemon.
Yeah, dude. Well, the first Child's Play had a couple fake outs. He just keeps coming back. And this one did it too. And they kind of upped the ante a little bit. I mean, the way they kill him is, he's like melted in plastic. He's deformed and disgusting. And for some reason, they're like, we can't fight him. He's one hand.
But then they stick the air thing into him.
And then he explodes, everywhere. And I can't wait for you to see the third one to see how they bring him back. It's pretty funny.
I'm very excited to see that. I don't even want to ask any questions.
Funny. But anyways, the last thing I just want to mention too, you know what I love is whenever Chucky tries to do his like voodoo incantation on Andy, is you see the clouds, they like form like really cool over the building. You remember that from the first one and this one?
Especially in the first one, yeah.
And they do it in Ghostbusters. So I recently learned out how they do that. And it's actually what they do is they put an obscene amount of salt into water. They like dump it into a fish tank, and then they film the fish tank and the way that it like kind of like curls. They do it in slow motion. It's kind of cool.
And they just like kind of superimpose that onto the...
Yeah, exactly. So those clouds are actually, it's actually water in a fish tank that's getting poured, but there's so much salt in it.
Simple.
Yeah, it's really cool though. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Nice.
But yeah, so I mean, Chucky, dude, I love Chucky. Still haven't seen the sci-fi show, which I can't believe I haven't, because apparently they bring back everybody from these movies.
And they have Devon Sawa from Casper in it. Like, that's...
I gotta watch it.
I think we have to do that for the October Wheel. I don't think we have a choice to just watch the first season and talk about it or something.
People love it. It's got 2 seasons, third season's coming back, and it's been just nothing but good reviews. So
I would hate to like do it after like they have the finale or whatever. I really want to get in while it's still airing. And the fact that a Chucky show has 3 seasons is incredible. And it must be fun.
It's so funny. Chucky has been around for 5 decades.
It's insane. I have a story. I remember, I'm not going to say any names, but I think I mentioned in the first podcast, when I was a kid in 3rd grade, someone from our 3rd grade class, because I love monsters and horror movies and everything, but she literally called my home phone and like talked to my dad or my mom. It's like, hey, just let you know, like Child's Play is on channel this and this.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you about who it was later, but
yeah, I remember. I know it was. Yeah.
Love that stuff, man. That's a history right there.
Yeah, this girl just thought of you when she saw it was on. This.
Like, hey, I saw this was on, and like, Child's Play is a special part of my heart.
It's good. I mean, seriously. Now I'm glad you're starting to turn around a little bit. Unfortunately, the 3rd one is probably the worst one in the series, but then it starts to pick up. I think the 3rd one and the 5th one are kind of like a little weak, but then 6 and 7 are great, and 4 is really good too. So, anyways, all right. Well, that was our first sequel. So now we're gonna spin the wheel and find out the next sequel.
Let's spin it. Spin in. Happy Death Day to you.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I am excited. I haven't thought about it since the first one, so let's see how it is. But, we have Vito. We have Mike Vito Hansen coming back, so we have a returning guest who will finish out that series with us until they make a third one. Anyways, thank you everybody for listening in to our discussion on Child's Play 2, and we'll see you all next week with Happy Death Day to you.